You don't have time to follow every AI update. That's why I do it. This month I found 5 that genuinely matter if you're building a brand, running a business, or creating content in 2026. Here's what changed in March, and more importantly, what you do with it. The biggest AI tool most of you are already paying for just got a major upgrade. And I'm not sure enough people are talking about what it actually means in practice. OpenAI released GPT 5.4 on March 5th. It's available on the Standard Plus plan, which is still $20 a month, but what changed under the hood is significant. The context window, basically how much information the model can hold and work with at once, doubled to 1 million tokens. To put that in real terms, you can now paste in your entire brand guide, 6 months of social media posts, your competitor research, and your analytics report, and have one coherent conversation about all of it. No more copying and pasting between sessions. No more the AI forgetting what you told it 3 messages ago. There's also a feature called computer use, which means GPT 5.4 can now operate a browser on your behalf. You give it a task, it figures out the steps, opens the relevant websites, pulls the data, and comes back with a result, without you touching anything. Think about what that means for a solo business owner or a small marketing team. Tasks that used to take 45 minutes, researching competitors, pulling pricing, compiling a comparison, can now be delegated entirely. And the accuracy improved too. Around 33% fewer factual errors compared to the previous version. So what should you actually do with all of this? 3 things. First, stop using ChatGPT like a search engine. One-line prompts are leaving most of the capability on the table. Start giving it proper context and multi-step instructions. Second, try agent mode this week. Give it a real task with multiple steps and just watch it work. You need to see it to understand the shift. Third, if you're doing monthly content planning, do it in one session. Upload everything relevant to your brand and let it build your calendar, your captions, your angle, all at once. On March 10th, Google rolled out Gemini-powered creation tools across its entire Workspace suite: Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Drive. This is currently available to paid Google AI Pro and Ultra subscribers, and it's worth knowing about even if you're not on a paid plan yet, because this is where Google Workspace is heading for everyone. Let's see what has changed. In Docs, a new Help Me Create feature drafts full documents by pulling context from files already in your Drive and emails in your Gmail. With this, you're getting a formatted first draft using your own existing files as source material. In Sheets, Fill with Gemini builds entire spreadsheets from a description. You tell it the structure you want, it builds it. Google published benchmark data showing it performs at over 70% success on a professional spreadsheet dataset. What difference does it make for you? It removes the step most of us are still doing: drafting in ChatGPT, copying across to Google, reformatting manually. Gemini is now inside the tools you're already using, with access to the files that already live there. If you're on a paid Google AI plan, test it ASAP. Open Docs and try Help Me Create with a real brief, giving it access to a few Drive files for context. Try Sheets for your next content calendar. Just describe the structure and let it build the skeleton. If you're on the free plan, this tells you what's coming. Google is clearly building towards making this the default workspace experience across all tiers. It's worth factoring into whether a paid Google AI plan makes sense for your workflow. AI images finally got text right. This is one of those updates that sounds small until you realize what it actually unlocks. 2 major AI image tools released significant upgrades in March, and both of them independently solve the same problem that has made AI image generation largely useless for marketing work, and that is text inside images. Until now, if you asked any AI tool to generate a graphic with readable copy on it, an ad banner, a promotional card, an infographic, the text would come out garbled, blurry, misspelled, nonsensical. It was a known limitation that everyone just accepted and worked around, usually by exporting to Canva and adding the text manually. That workaround is now optional. Google's Nano Banana 2, which launched in late February and fully rolled out across Gemini throughout March, generates images up to 4K with clean, accurate text. It's built into the free Gemini app. It also has real-time Google search integration, meaning if you ask it to create an infographic with current statistics on a topic, it pulls live data and populates the graphic automatically. Midjourney released V8 Alpha on March 17th. It's 5 times faster than V7, renders at native 2K resolution, and the text accuracy is a genuine step change. If you already have a personalization profile or a style you've built in Mid-Journey, it carries straight over, nothing to rebuild. For content creators and social media managers, this matters in a very practical way. You no longer need a separate design step for text-heavy visuals. One prompt can give you a finished, on-brand graphic ready to post. Test it this week. Open Gemini, describe a social media graphic for your brand with specific headline copy, and see what comes back. Then try the same in Mid-Journey V8 Alpha. Find which one fits your workflow and start building it in. I've been testing Nano Banana 2 for a few weeks now, and it exceeded all my expectations. I will be sharing a full step-by-step tutorial where I will show you how to almost replace your photographer and retoucher with this tool. It is phenomenal. On March 17th, the same week as the Workspace update, Google made a separate move that affects every single Google user, regardless of whether you pay for anything. They expanded personal intelligence to all free users across Search AI mode, the Gemini app, and Chrome. What that means in practice: Gemini is now connected to your Gmail, Drive, Google Photos, YouTube history, Maps, and search history. When you ask it something, it answers with full context of your actual life and work without you having to explain any of it first. Instead of saying, "I had a meeting last Tuesday about a brand deal, here's the background. Can you write a follow-up?" You just say, "Draft a follow-up to the brand deal from last Tuesday." It finds the thread, it knows the context, it writes the email. Before you panic about your personal info, this is opt-in, off by default, and you connect each service individually. Google has confirmed personal data is not used to train its models. Here's the strategic point. Google is the first major AI company to offer this depth of personal integration at the free tier. ChatGPT's memory requires you to manually tell it things about yourself. What Google has done is connect the AI to data that already exists about you, at no extra cost. For your work, enable it and test it with one real task. But the bigger implication for your business, the AI tools your customers use to research products and services are becoming personal. Generic one-size-fits-all content is going to feel increasingly flat against AI that already knows what someone is looking for. The more specific and human your content is, the more it cuts through. OpenAI's CFO Sarah Fryer confirmed on CNBC that the company closed over $120 billion in total funding, adding a final $10 billion tranche from various investors. That values OpenAI at approximately $840 billion. And this is expected to be their last private raise before a Q4 IPO, which at that valuation would be the largest in American history. I'm not telling you this as a finance story, I'm telling you this as a signal about your industry. When Amazon, Nvidia, SoftBank, Microsoft, and multiple sovereign wealth funds collectively place $120 billion behind a single AI company, they are not speculating. These are institutions with full visibility into what these tools are already doing inside major businesses. They know something. For you as a marketer, content creator, or small business owner, here's what this actually means. OpenAI has 900 million weekly active users and reported $13.1 billion in revenue last year. That is platform scale. And at an all-hands on March 17th, their CEO of applications said internally, "We cannot miss this moment because we are distracted by side quests." Confirmed by CNBC. That's a company moving with urgency, which means the tools you use are going to keep getting more capable and faster. The bottom line, the AI tools your competitors, your clients, and your audience are using are being funded at historic scale to become more powerful and more embedded in daily work. The question isn't whether this changes your industry. The question is how far ahead of it you are. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI updates and best practices for marketing, social media, content creators, and business owners, and watch my Nano Banana tutorial next.